بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الناصح الأمين. اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد، يا عباد الله، قال لقمان الحكيم رحمة الله عليه: الصمت حكمة وقليل فاعله. لقمان الحكيم المعروف, Luqman the wise one, the one who is well known, of whom there is a chapter in the Qur'an named after him due to the tremendous advice in which he had given his son that is mentioned therein. He mentioned a tremendous statement. He said that silence is wisdom. The ulama, they explain, meaning that silence is an aspect of wisdom. It's an aspect of wisdom when applied correctly. And it is only a very few people who actually practice it. There's only a very few people who actually are disciplined as relates to their speech. From the lessons that we learn from the deen is that as Muslims we are supposed to have a great deal of self-control, a great deal of discipline. And this is from the benefits and those outstanding characteristics and traits and mannerisms that we learn in the deen, of those traits and mannerisms that we can show to others, that we could teach others, those who have yet to learn about them. These aspects which they are from tremendous points of da'wah, in which people could benefit from and learn from, and thus see the difference between the guidance of Islam and that which they may be currently upon. قال الأعلامة Imam bin Baz rahmatullah alayhi, he says, وَهَذَا كَلَامٌ فِي مَحِلِّهِ كَلَامٌ جَيِّدٌ. He said, in this speech, at its appropriate time, then it is extremely good. It is good speech. Naam. Because as we know, al-hikmah وَضْعُ شَيْءٍ فِي مَوْضِعِهِ, that wisdom is to put everything in its proper place. So for the Muslim, we put speech where speech benefits because that's its place. And we put silence when silence benefits because that's its place. So to be silent all the time, no, that's not from hikmah. And to speak all the time, no, that's not from hikmah. But to govern our speech so that when we speak, it is of benefit and about that which is beneficial, and it lends to a benefit. And when we are silent because silence in that situation is more beneficial. Imam bin Baz, he says, فَإِنَّ الْإِنسَانِ إِذَا أَكْثَرَ مِنَ الْكَلَامِ كَثُرَ سَقُطُهُ. He said, because the individual, when they increase in their speech, then you will find that they will increase in their mishaps. They will increase in their mistakes. They will increase in their stumbles. They will increase in the slips of their tongue. They will increase in that which could be extremely regrettable. وَقَلَّتْ سَلَامَتُهُ. And you will find that they will be, when they speak a lot, that this individual, that it will be very rare that they will find safety from their tongue. It is incumbent and it is a must that we utilize our speech correctly. It is incumbent and it is a must that we utilize our silence correctly. Now, And this requires great restraint. It requires a degree of knowledge. It requires a degree of maturity. It requires a great deal of wisdom. And thus, Luqman, he mentioned, as-samtu hikmah, that silence is from wisdom. وَقَلِيلٌ فَاعِلُهُ, and only a little bit of people apply it. هذا أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولجميع المسلمين فاستغفروا فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد يا عباد الله الحمد لله على نعمة الإسلام والسنة. All praise and thanks belong to Allah for guiding us to Islam and for guiding us to the Sunnah. How complete is our guidance, وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدِ. How complete is our way of life, وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدِ. How complete is our religion, وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدِ. That we have guidance for every situation. Every situation that we find ourselves in, we have guidance. When we should speak, when we should be quiet, what we should say, to the extent and how, and so on and so forth. It is all governed by the book and the sunnah. It is all governed by the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember, as Muslims, we are not those who make things worse. So I want you to contemplate how much and how often is it that individual statements, that the movement of an individual's tongue will make a situation worse. How many marriages have ended due to the reckless nature of the tongue? How many marriages could have been saved due to showing some type of restraint and applying the medicine of silence? How many relationships have been ruined due to the reckless nature of the tongue? And how many relationships and friendships could have been saved due to applying the medicine of silence? How many societies have been brought to destruction, to unrest, to chaos due to the reckless nature of the tongues? And how many societies could have been saved from said chaos and corruption and the like if they would just had applied the medicine of silence? Imam Ibn Baz, he goes on and he says, ولكن متى حافظ على قلة الكلام على قلة الكلام. He said, when an individual, they safeguard what they say and thus they preserve just speaking a little, ولم يتكلم إلا فيما يعنيه, and they only speak about that which benefits them. And herein are some of the guidelines. So how we know what should I say, when should I say it? That when we speak about affairs that actually affect us, that actually impact us, that actually are our business. Naam. That we speak about things that are our business. Naam. Think about ghibah, think about backbiting. When an individual embarks upon the evil sin of backbiting, then what are they doing? They are speaking about that which is not their business. They are speaking about that which is not their concern, but yet they indulge upon it anyway. Naam. If we want to benefit and from a person's good Islam, is that they leave alone that which does not benefit them, and that they concern themselves with that which benefits them. And when we speak, وَحَيْثُ يَنْفَعُهُ الْكَلَامِ, we speak when speech benefits us. When speech is of a benefit, whether it be to us or those adjacent to us or those around us and so on and so forth, then we speak. We speak when speech is beneficial. So we speak with beneficial speech when that speech is beneficial. Naam. لِكُلِّ مَقَامٍ مَقَالٍ. Every situation will have its statement. Every situation will have its statement. Naam. And every statement has its people. So we don't say everything all the time, and we don't say everything to everyone, but we have wisdom. This situation will require this from speech. That other situation will require this from silence. This situation will require that we mention these things to these group of people. And the other situation will require that these things are not mentioned to that same group or another group of people. Every situation has its statement, and every statement has its people. Ya ibadallah, Imam bin Baz, he goes on and he says that when the speech, it benefits Salima, then the individual, he will be safe. وَهَذَا مَعْنَى, and this is the meaning. يقول فيه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من كان يؤمن بالله ويوم الآخر فليقل خيرا أو ليصمت. And this is the meaning of the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wherein he mentioned that whoever believes in Allah in the last day, then let him speak good or be quiet. Let him speak good or be quiet. So it is upon the individual who has sound mind, it is upon the individual who has a strong intellect, that he examines what he is going to say, when he says it, to whom he says it to, and what will be the repercussions of said statement. We have to look and be wise. We have to utilize our tongues in ways in which bring about benefit, bring about good, bring about khair. And if we find that we are not able to bring about that good, then we don't say it. If we find that we may say a statement, and even though it is true, its fruits will produce in splitting of relationships, causing fitna, causing chaos, so on and so forth, then we don't say that statement. Then we don't mention that utterance. We don't say that. We be quiet. Now, so we speak when it is good, to who it is good to say it to, in situations that the repercussions of said statements will bring about good and not bring about any harm. الصمت خير له, because sometimes الصمت خير له من الكلام الذي يضر. نعم, because sometimes silence is better. And in general, what? All the time, what? الصمت خير له. Silence is better for him if it is related to speech that if he said it will hurt him, will bring harm to him. Then it's better for him to be quiet all the time in those type of situations. خير له من الكلام الذي لا فائدة فيه. Silence is better from speech in which has no benefit in it. So if that speech is going to harm you, then silence is better. If that speech will produce no benefit, then silence is better. Why? Because when we speak, we should be speaking to bring about benefit. Now, if we say something that is not beneficial, does not bring about benefit, then us utilizing our tongues is a waste of our time. Because remember, everything you say is written down. The more you say, the longer will be your judgment, Yawmul Qiyamah. The more you say, the more you put in your record by way of your tongue, then the longer will be your judgment, Yawmul Qiyamah. So if you're saying things of which are no bearing, of which have no benefit, then there's no need to say them. Then this will at least reduce your time. So this is what? Silence is better for you then. Then silence will be better. فَإِنْ كَانَ كَلَامُهُ فِيهِ فَائِدَةً تَكَلَّمْ. And if his speech has in it good, then he should speak. And if his speech has in it good, then he should speak. وَإِلَّا أَمْسَكَ. And if not, then don't say anything. If the speech has in it good, then you speak. If not, then don't say anything. Then be quiet. Then withhold. Then be quiet. Draw silence. If you don't have anything good to say, then don't say anything. Those who truly believe in Allah on the last day, let them speak good or be silent. Remain silent. Ya ibadallah. It is a must that we adorn ourselves with the likes of the true Islamic characteristics and traits and mannerisms and behavior, because by Allah, what we do is a greater da'wah than what we say. هذا فأقيموا الصلاة.